So Debbie, we are so happy to have you here with us at UX Designers Camp. And we are especially proud that you traveled all the way from the United States. And I just wanted to ask, how did you even decide to transfer continents and continue with your profession here?
Yeah, so I'm an American. I can't hide that. It's in my accent. And I, of course, was living in America. And I felt a little burned out after working many years in San Francisco. And I was trying to figure out where should I go next. And I had the opportunity to visit Italy last year, and it was just so beautiful, and it just seemed like it was a good match to me. The rural life was really slow and easy and beautiful and inexpensive, and I'm more of the country mouse than the city mouse, as we say. So I applied for a self-employment visa to come and start my company in Italy. So I still have my American corporation, and then now that I'm in Italy, I have an Italian SRL, which is like a limited liability company. So I was really just looking for a change of lifestyle and to kind of get away from all of the wackiness and expense that San Francisco can be, even though it's great for work.
Yeah, I understand that. We met through the TopTel network, which was amazing, really. Like, I'm so super happy for the community there, and also that I had a chance to meet you.
Me too.
I remember that when I presented you the UX Designers Camp, you kind of immediately you were open to that, and you really soon said yes. So I was wondering, what was your motivation to join us and share your, how much is it, like 25 years of experience
Oh gosh,
in UX design? It's a lot.
Yes, I started in Flavors of UX in 1995, and we're talking in 2018. So this is my 24th year. So when you presented me with the camp, it really did interest me immediately because I loved the idea of getting together designers, especially some younger designers, and I love pretty much every opportunity I can get to talk to people and give them my ideas and opinions, even if they disagree with them. Maybe they'll go somewhere more exciting with them. And the idea of mentoring people and helping out and always trying to give back. So it immediately appealed to me for that, and especially since I'm new in Italy, I wanted to start to get our business out there a little bit more in Europe.
And what do you think about the atmosphere here, our lovely host, the Mokrin House? Like, how do you like it so far?
It's a really interesting location. It's a rural setting, and so you're listening to geese and roosters and dogs, and it's otherwise very quiet. There's not like a highway near here. And the buildings, of course, are really beautiful. They've done such a great job with the architecture and the construction, and so there's a really great it's a fun modern feel in the country. It wasn't the easiest place to get to for someone who's not in Serbia, but now that I'm here, it's been really a nice experience. And their food's pretty good.
Yeah, I can agree on that. And I also wanted to mention, like, on Saturday we are going to have a conference.
Yes.
And it's like a part of a much larger movement, like EF week that's happening like all over the world at the moment, and we're like part of a much bigger network that's kind of helping freelancers in Europe, like continue with their career, help each other, and just spread the values. And you're going to speak at the event as well.
Yes, thank you for that.
So can you tell us something more about your company, your work at the moment, and why you chose to live as digital nomad and just be able to choose the location where you will be at?
Yes, that was many questions, but I would say I'll start with a little bit about my company. We are Ptype, short for prototype, because I do so many UX prototypes, and I was just speaking last night at your event about the benefits of prototyping, so it's something I'm always very excited about. So Ptype is a full-service UX agency. We do the full spectrum of user-centered design, from all of the competitive analysis and early stages, research, content strategy, all the way through, of course, information architecture, interaction design, lots of prototyping. I love the user testing, and then, of course, we also have artists on board who do the visual design when the project's ready for that. I myself am not an artist. I'm more of a UX specialist, but we've got a team of people who handle all the things. things. And again, we're happy to work with people around the world because now we can take all the money from all the countries. So we're happy to work with everybody. And I've been doing this forever. So I think that's a little bit about the company. I'm also working right now on a workshop I want to tell people about, which is, it's called DevOps ICU. And it's for people, non-UX people who are finding that their DevOps and their engineering is really struggling with UX and product design, that the collaboration is poor, it feels like everyone's in a silo, there's disconnection, maybe there's disrespect. And so I'm hoping everybody will check out devops.icu. Yes, that's a domain. In American English, ICU is the intensive care unit where you go when you're very sick. So that's my joke is your DevOps is very sick. Yes, it's unfortunately mostly works in America. Sorry, everybody. So I'm hoping people will check out devops.icu and see if that's a program that might work at their workplace, because I speak with a lot of UX practitioners and they say, I'm struggling so much at my job, I feel like I'm not respected, they circumvent me, they're not letting me do my process, I don't get to test, I don't get to research. And so I'm hoping to come into companies and kind of at a higher level teach people how to work better with UX. It's going to be better for all of us and all the cool people attending here who are coming up in the industry. So that was the company part. And then what was the other question was
more about the freelancers movement, because we are kind of also, we want to encourage that as well, and we deeply value networking and connections at this event. So on Saturday we're going to have a free event where we're going to accept more people, not just participants of the camp, and you will have an opening session.
Yes, and thank you. Yes, I'll be talking about remote work, which I've been doing mostly for the last 24 years. I've always worked from home. When I was in San Francisco, I took some jobs that were on site because I thought that would really help develop my resume and some of my other skills, because there's only so much you can sit at home. So it's good to balance with both. But working remotely is something I've done forever. When I lived in America, I used to move every 8 months. And we didn't think of that as a digital nomad. We called it a virtual company. You know, it's always been called something. Yeah. And I used to move every 8 months, and people didn't understand why. And I always used to half joke, no parents, no children, who cares where I am? You know, let's try different cities in America and see where I want to be. Let's try a city, let's try a countryside. Because for what I do, wherever I can have good internet and electricity, I can work. And that's probably the same for you, the people at the camp, some people watching. If you can get reliable electricity and Wi-Fi, we can do our jobs. And it's really up to the companies we're working with to make sure they have the tools and techniques in place to make sure we're invited to conference calls. If there's whiteboarding, there's some sort of virtual or online whiteboarding. We have these tools now. We don't have the excuses we had in the 90s of, what? You know, everyone's got dial-up internet with phones. We can't do this. So even in America, I was a little bit of a nomad. And so the idea of picking up and moving to another country wasn't too surprising to any of my friends. It's like, where are you going now? They were more surprised that I stayed in San Francisco as long as I did.
I know, I always get this question, where are you now? Right. And I'm like, where I'm here. I mean, like, you know, where do you live? And it's like a question you can't always answer, really.
My favorite was, I once lived in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and some American friends said to me, what international country code do I have to call to find you in New Mexico? I was like, America has New Mexico. It's not an international country. Yeah. But our education system is a little sad there if you didn't know that. Yeah. But I've always moved around a lot. I just keep a phone number, like I keep a Google Voice number, something that can ring on my computer, my phone, and just take it everywhere.
Yeah, I'm thinking now how it's so interesting how we met. So Debbie is one of our speakers at the camp, and she's also having mentoring sessions, and we are really grateful to have her here, especially with all her experience. So thank you for coming so far and actually spending your time here with us.
Thank you.
But we also have another speaker, Ivana Milicic, who's also part of our network and TopTal. And I just wanted to say a huge thanks to the company that bring this amazing community to me, that we then can provide value to all the others that are gathered. And just for the end, as I maybe didn't introduce Debbie properly or the camp. So Debbie has her own company for years now, but she also works for TopTel, me as well. And the camp that we are organizing here, UX Designers Camps, it's committed to remote work and education at the same time for UX professionals. And we deeply value the networking that's happening here and the connections that participants develop between each other and then with our amazing speakers as well. So we can go home and we can bring all these, memories about amazing people we met here, and that we can always ask for an advice about the, whether personal or career related, and just keep rocking UX.
Yes, and thank you again for the opportunity. I'm so glad. I think you
You're
reached out to
welcome.
me first in TopTal because I
Yes.
was brand new there, and I was
Yes.
like,
Yes.
what's going
you
on
had,
here?
You had an amazing introduction, and
Oh,
I was
thank you.
like, I have to bring this woman to my camp.
I can tell a story. So yeah, and what you're doing is so exciting. So congratulations on
Thanks.
getting through the first time, right?
It's the first time, yes,
but
and
not the
it's
last.
We'll see about that.
No,
like,
do
hopefully,
it.
hopefully not the last. But it's definitely the first camp of this type in Europe. And I don't know if we have maybe a similar group doing a similar thing in the United States, but we do have some differences definitely. But it's the good thing is that people liked it, and
Right.
we'll see what we can do about next iterations.
Oh, always iterating, test, right?
Exactly.
Research, build, design,
Exactly.
prototype, test, learn. So you'll be doing the
Yes,
same thing.
Yes. So in case we do the next iteration, please check our website uxdesignerscamp.com and just hope for the best and apply for 2019.
Do it.